Hello everyone, today we're going to be reviewing my own private Idaho. Now, this isn't one I initially was going to make a video on, but I thought, why not? So, the movie is about Mike and Scott, played wonderfully by Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix. River Phoenix is playing Mike, and Keanu Reeves is playing Scott. Now, they're a pair of hustlers, male strippers, gigolos, whatever you'd like to call them. And, well, there's a whole adventure going on, and it turns out that Mike doesn't know who his mum is. No, he knows who his mum is, he didn't know who his dad is. He thought his dad was this other guy. But then they go to visit him, and it turns out, no. So they have to track down the mum, discover what's going on. And all the hijinks that ensue there. Now, this movie, well, I wouldn't say hijinks. It's not really It's not a comedy film. It's more drama. It's a loose adaptation of Henry IV and Henry V. And you know what? I want to love this film. I want to, but some things are just the pacing. My God, the pacing. Like the whole film is like the whole thing about finding Mike's mum, them going to the dad and being like, "Yo, hello, I ain't your dad." Oh, mom. The whole part about that doesn't kick off into at least halfway through the film. I shit you not. The first half is just them moping around being sad about the fact that they have to strip for money. Which is like, I mean, I say that, but the good parts of the film are the character work. There's a beautiful scene written by River himself where he just sits. It's on their journey. Their motorcycle breaks down in the middle of the desert, and they camp out for the night. Just to rest things up, and they can fix the bike in the morning. And during the camp scene, they're all sat there in silence, and then Mike says, "I love you. I could love. Without paying me, man." Oh, I can't remember the exact quote, but it's something along the lines of, "People pay me to love them, but I would love you without you paying me. I love you and you don't pay me." And Keanu Reeves just sort of stops and he's just like, "Alright, come here, man." And they cuddle. Now, I've seen a few people saying it'd be more impactful if they kissed, which I disagree with. I think Scott shouldn't have. I'm glad Scott didn't kiss Mike, because in that situation, with their friendship, Scott probably knows it would have just torn Mike up all the more if, he says he loves him. If Mike kissed him and didn't have the same feelings back, it would be even worse for him, which I love. And if people don't know, Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix were actually very close friends behind the scenes as well. Pretty close friends behind the scenes. So a lot of the character work is, you can tell it's not just two actors reading from a script. No, you can tell there's genuine friendship there. And it's amazing. Again, the only problems I have with the film are the pace, are the story itself. Like, there's the whole thing doesn't start halfway through there. But then even after that, it's like, "Oh, we're in Italy now. Hi, It's not even explained why they set off in the first place. It's just, they're just moping around, then they're like, "We could go on a road trip. Let's go on a road trip. Where? I don't know." And then they're suddenly at their dad's place. It's like, okay. maybe the implication is they want to get away from it all. Because there's the rumouring tinge, well, there's the whole thing with Bob, who's, I guess you could say Bob's like their pimp? Maybe? Yeah, he seems to be like their pimp, so I guess that would be the best way to describe it. But it's not like a, oh, we work for him because we have to. No, there seems to be a genuine, like, there does seem to be a genuine friendship there. Because, like, spoilers, Bob dies. And Mike genuinely seems distraught about the fact that Bob's no longer with them. And there's the whole funeral, which does show that Mike did enjoy Bob's company. And then there's the whole thing about... So, yeah, I'm assuming they just wanted to go on a road trip. So they go off into the science hunt together to meet Mike's dad. Mike's dad is like, I'm not your dad. Your mother was seeing someone else around the same time you were born. And then, you know, it's never explained why, but, like, it said that the dude was a bit of a sleazeball, but their mother loved him anyway. And then she shot his brains out in the middle of a theater. Okay, it's never explained why she did it. Maybe she caught on to the fact that he didn't like her back, but I don't know. And then after that, they go to Italy because it's like that's where your mum wanted to go. I can't remember where they go first. They go to some hotel because like your mum's working here, which I think is in Idaho, which is where the thing gets this thing from, Own Private Idaho. So they go there, and then the staff are like, "Oh no, your mum's in Italy." So they go to Italy, and throughout the journey, they keep bumping into this man, Hans. He's a German. I think he's a German gigolo as well, but yeah, I don't know. They keep bumping into him, and he seems friendly enough. And they keep calling him, oh, he's a pervert. I don't want to trust him. But then he like helps them, so I don't know what's going on with that. And then we'd never see him again after Italy, and it's just, okay. And then they leave Italy. Well, when they're in Italy, Scott falls in love with someone. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, because it's only brought up once, but she's like the farmhand, and he meets up with her, and they have a genuine, like, thing going on. Even though it only happens within like 10 minutes, you do see a genuine chemistry there, which is kind of cute. Again, all the good things about this are the character work. It's like an RPG, and every single stat was put into character, nothing was put onto story. They created amazing characters, and I went, we need a story. They're trying to find his mum. Yeah, that'll do. And then after that happens, Mike leaves, leaving Scott. No, Scott leaves with his new fiance. I'm assuming fiance? I don't know. And Mike kind of has to give up the story there because it's never explained. Again, the story's all over the fucking place because they go to Italy. All this journey, it's like, yeah, your mum's not here. She used to be here, but she's not here anymore. And then the story just kind of ends there. And then it cuts to them back in New York, I think it is. And Bob's dead. Scott's rich now. Which doesn't come out of nowhere. It is set up that Scott he's the mayor's son, and he's a lot of him like stripping in that. It's half and half, sort of. Half, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be chained to my father. I want to make my own legacy. Half that and half, I don't care what you say, Dad. I'm my own man. Fuck you, Dad. Sort of thing. And so after the whole Italy thing, I'm assuming there's a time skip, and Scott and the girl seem to be married now, and then the dad's dead, Bob's dead, and there's a dual funeral going on, and it's just okay. Oh no, wait! I'm missing a whole scene here, because there is a scene where it does cut to them being, well, Mike being back in New York, and you see Bob run up to Scott after I'm assuming this is right after he's just gotten, right after his dad's died, and he's inherited the fortune, the mayor's fortune. And he goes, again, it's not just like a pimp and hoe kind of thing, there is a genuine friendship there. But Scott's moved on now. He even says, like, I used to use you as a way to navigate the streets, but I don't need you anymore. And it genuinely, all the plot of the story, well, all the signs in the story plot to Bob legitimately died of a heartbreak, which is, oh Jesus. Bob genuinely really liked Scott, and he just turned around and was like, I don't need you anymore. Piss off, scum. You peasants. I'm like, oh. And then the film ends with, well, I forgot to mention, there's a reoccurring thing with Mike having extreme narcolepsy in terms of stress. Like, there's a scene in the desert where they get stopped by police. It's like, well, why are you boys doing that here? And kind of just freaking out, and Mike runs into the bushes and passes out. So here's that whole thing, and then, the film ends with, back in the same desert, Mike being like, I've been here before. I don't know what's going on, where am I? Then he passes out, gets robbed, and the closing shot is a car pulling up and getting put into the car and then driving into the sunset. If you're expecting me to explain why he was back in the desert and why someone basically kidnapped him, have you been listening to this review? Things just happen in this film, and you're expected to roll with it. Again, it's an RPG where all the stats were put into character, nothing else into story or reason. I don't know. I'm gonna say though, for like, if you don't know me, I'm trans. I did intend to have a sort of a trans video coming out in Pride Month, but things just got in the way and I just didn't get around to it. Next year, right? But yeah, I'm trans and bi, or pan, whatever. And yeah, this sort of film coming out in 1991 and having the sort of themes that it does. Yeah, sure, it's all about stripping and Mike genuinely having hints of being gay. It's lovely, and a lot of gay men have come out and said the scene where he's like crying in the desert, and they're crying at the campfire, and he says, Scott, people pay me to love them, but I love you and you don't need to pay me. I can't do that scene justice, but a lot of gay men have said, yeah, that's how it feels when you love someone that you know, when you love another guy that you know doesn't feel the same way. And yeah, I don't want this review to be me just shitting on the film, because I've said this 900 times now, but the characters are amazing. The interactions are amazing. It's just a shame about the pacing in the story. It's a series I'd love to do at some point would be underrated actors, and I'd love to do one with such an underrated actor. I mean, he was going to be in Titanic, but I think it was 93, 94, No, it would have been 95, 96. He died of a drug overdose at the Viper Club. And yeah, it really hurt Keanu Reeves a lot. I think he was filming Speed at the time, and he actually had to take a while off of the film to get over River's death. And if the name River Phoenix sounds familiar to anyone, it's because he is the brother of Joaquin Phoenix. Which, I mean, when Joaquin won the Oscar for when Joaquin won the Oscar for Joker, he actually said, "This is for River," and it's adorable. And also, if you've seen Indiana Jones and the Indiana Jones Last Crusade, River Phoenix plays young Indy at the start, and he does it perfectly. I think he went out of his way to get every single mannerism of Harrison Ford perfect. It just shows you. A lot of people have said that River Phoenix, if he had not died, would have been up there with DiCaprio, and I 100% agree. It's just a tragic life that was cut too short, and Keanu even said that at the time he was doing drugs as well, and River Phoenix dying. The loss of River Phoenix's life might have saved his own, which is beautiful. Also, I just want to point out that Keanu at this point, at the same time filming this, was also filming Point Break and Bill and Ted 2, which is my Own Private Idaho, Point Break, and Bill and Ted. That's a trilogy of films in a half, like. But hey, what do you think of it? If you liked it, let me know in the comments below. Have a good one.